Hi, I'm Chantel with 141 Design Company, and welcome to my channel. Hey guys, and welcome back. I'm so happy you could join me this week. I have a lot of fun things to go over. I ended up with 2 fully finished items, some new starts, and some progress on my whips. I also have a little bit of haul and a piece of Happy Mail to share, and some new releases. So we'll get right into it. We had a wonderfully productive week this last week. We're getting ready to go camping, and we'll be leaving on Sunday. So we'll be at Wilderness State Park, which is in the top part of Michigan, right near the Mackinac Bridge. It's just a beautiful place, and I am really anxious and excited to go. I've got lots of great stitching planned, and I've got my bog bags packed. We'll see that stuff in just a minute. But the first things I wanted to share with you are my 2 fully finished items. Last week, I showed you my finish on Home Sweet Home from Brenda Gervais. This is with Nichol, and I had purchased this kit from Farm Girl Dry Goods. It came complete with the floss and the fabric for the back with the pillow, the rickrack that went around it, and I stitched mine. I used everything except for that fabric. I just switched it. I like that fabric that came with it, but I switched mine to try using the 40 count. And I did mine on Fog from Picture This Plus. I love how the colors turned out on this light fabric. It's so pretty. It's kind of squishy because I filled it with the poly pellets is what it's filled with. I've got the polyfill in the corners and then the pellets inside. I like that like floppy feel to it. So that's how I've got mine finished. And the only thing I changed in this, I don't think I talked about it before, was the little highlights right here. I did stitch those in the same color that the house is stitched in because they were white and they weren't really showing up on the Fog fabric. But otherwise, I used all of the same called for colors on that. The back fabric that came with it in the kit was this really pretty blue with white stars, and then the rickrack trim I put all the way around, and I just glued that down. The only thing I haven't added was that bow at the top, the ribbon that you'll see, and that was in the kit, so the ribbon was included. I just haven't put it on yet. So that's finish number 1. Finish number 2 was actually a new start as well, and it came out of the new book that was a new release from Teresa Koget, With Thy Hands. And this, I loved the colors in this so much that I just needed to do something. So I decided to do this one right here, and when I got started on it, I could not stop. I just kept going and going, and this is the finish that I was able to do this week. I created a little vignette scene on the bench from Hobby Lobby. Used some vintage items and Teresa's needle minder inside a mason jar lid, and then fully finished the stitch on one of our vertical boards, and embellished our bunting that kind of is a highlight on the bench with Teresa's fabric line. I did a little Mod Podge as well. So I put this vignette together as my full finish for this week and had such a good time just kind of fussing and adding things and putting it all together. And I love it. It was fun. But let me break it down for you, and I'll show you each piece individually and what it's all about. These are just some items that I picked up at the antique mall, a tomato pincushion and some old vintage scissors. This spool, I wrapped some antique, like rickrack that I found over at the antique mall on a big huge spool. So that's actual vintage trim, and I put it on with a little pin. But the spool itself is the spool that came with the vintage trim rickrack from Lori Holt. It comes wrapped up on this spool, and once mine was all gone, I saved it and then just roughed it up and made it look a little more old and beat up. So that's where the spool actually came from, and then I just put that old vintage trim on it. The little needle minder display, what I did with this was I took a mason jar lid and just painted it with the black chalk paint, and then I'm going to distress it a little bit more too, and then filled it in with a piece of board that I covered with Teresa Koget's fabric, and then put her needle minder. This needle minder is available in her shop. So I put her needle minder on the inside. and turned it into a little freestanding, you know, embellishment for the bench. The way I've got it standing up is from another new item that is in our website now. And it is this little, hope you can see that okay, there we go. This little stand, a little metal stand with a magnet on the top. I added these to our website. I think these will be a really nice versatile item. You can do so many different things with this for adding smalls into your vignettes or up on your shelves. You can put things inside a mason jar lid just like this. That could have had a stitch in there as well. Or they even work fabulously with these little tart tins that you can get from Fat Quarter Shop. They had been sold out for a while, but so Jessica gifted me one so I could share this with you. The magnet on the back will click right to the back of that, and then it'll turn these into little freestanding, see that? Freestanding pieces that you can put on your tier trays. And I'm going to finish off, I've got a couple of them still working on them, but the Star Spangled ornaments that Fat Quarter Shop did with the It's So Emma, and they finish on the inside of this, or any type of little round actually will do, but that way it could still be an ornament, or you can do a quick click it onto the stand and put it into your shelves or tier trays. So those I think are going to be really nice. We'll continue to carry those in the shop as we work on building our finishing solution items for you for your cross stitch finishing. The stitch itself is right here, and I did this on 32 count overcast from Cedar River linen. And let me tell you something, you guys, I'd had a yard of that set aside for another project and I just wasn't getting to it, so I went ahead and I still have plenty to do the other project. Who am I kidding? There's lots on a yard. But I thought I'm going to give it a whirl for this one because I thought the colors really looked nice on the overcast, and stitching on it was a dream. All right, now do you find that you stitch faster on certain fabrics? I really have no idea what the difference is between them, whether it's the count or the make or the dye or whatever. But this fabric, I was just flying, and I really was able to get that done quickly. So this was a new start to finish in a day. I loved it so much. I finished it on a piece of the press-on board and then used some pom-pom trim around the edge. And this is on our vertical freestanding piece. I did a little tweaking to this, so you'll notice that in the website that this is like the 2.0 version of this. It's our basic collection. There is a vertical size, a horizontal, this is a horizontal, I'm sorry. There's a vertical, a horizontal, a square, and a round, and they're fabulous for all of your smalls. I bumped the size up a little bit so that it will work for more items, and it is now a full 5x6, and it fits inside the slot, and you've got two pieces to glue together on the base and then pop it right in the slot. It does not have its etched out anymore, so I think it's just a much more versatile way of using these. Softened the corners a little bit, and I'm just thrilled with how these basics turned out. I will show those to you more again when I talk about the new releases and how I stained this. Well, let me just share how I stained it now because I wanted to go over that. The pieces are done in maple. So this is a maple veneer wood with an MDF core. And because they're maple, you have grain to them, which makes them amazing prospects for stain, right? What I did mine in was this black velvet color wash tint from Hobby Lobby. You can pick these up. It comes in a variety of colors. You can even get reds and blues and yellows, but it will look kind of like a wash. Very easy to put on. It's water-based, so it washed right off my hands. And you can see it just created that really soft black velvety look, I guess, since it's called black velvet, or just that black look. And I was able to distress it easily. And now this board is ready for another stitch to go right on it. But I just love the support colors that you can put on these for adding your basics too. The other item that's on the bench that I embellished as well was the bunting that goes across the top. This bunting, I used the Mod Podge techniques to add some of the Teresa koget, this is from Stitchy Birds, fabric to the bunting. I want to try it again because I want to get my cut lines a little more exact. So I decided I can just try again on the back. So if you're grabbing these buntings for embellishing on a bench or other things, remember you can do both sides and make it reversible. So it's like the most bang for your buck out of this cute little bunting. Finish the back side as well, and then you've got one for whatever holidays you need, and you can just flip it around. A way for doing this, and I'm going to share this really quick because it was not my technique. I saw it online, so I'm just going to tell you what I did rather than do a full tutorial on it or something. But it was applied using Mod Podge, and the technique for doing it was you take your piece and you use the Mod Podge and you paint it on your surface. Then you let it completely dry. After that, I took, which I know sounds weird, but you let it dry, right? And maybe you've seen this, but I'm gonna just go through. And then you take your fabric and put it on top of that. And I went over to Hobby Lobby and picked up this tiny little crafting iron from Cricut. And once you lay the fabric on top of the dried Mod Podge, you can take the little iron and press it right down on top, and it will reactivate that and just adhere the fabric right on. No bubbles, no wrinkles, perfect. I was thrilled to see this gal share that technique on Instagram, so I had to run and try it right away. Worked great. So I put a whole piece on this, and then I took an X-Acto knife, like this one here, and just cut off the excess from the back side, and that's how I finished the bunting. The bunting is attached to the benches with these little, let me take that off again so you can see, those little hooks that come with them, and you just glue them right. If you're doing it on the bench, you're going to glue them right inside this line on that top bar, and that will be the correct width for resting your bunting right on top. And this way you can change it out and do different color schemes and different things if you want to redecorate your bench and embellish it with the bunting. I just had a great time kind of fiddling around and putting that together. So it was fun to build and work. Even though it's a small finish, I liked putting other things with it. I do want to finish some other things from that particular book. And like I said, the booklet is available in our website. So if you want to do those too, head on over. It's a quick, fun, easy stitch from Teresa Koget. New starts and progress on whips. I had a few new starts this week. One of them was the Teresa Koget that I already shared fully finished. Just boom, boom, boom. So much fun. And then two other new starts. The first one was inspired by Alicia, Fanciful Flamingo, because I saw her finish on this and I remembered you need to get going on that and get some work into it. And that is This I Know from Plum Street. I have it in this particular bag from Speckled Red. It's a nice gusseted, kind of pouchy type bag. And the reason why is the floss that I chose to stitch This I Know in, I got from Victoria Clayton. So it's the bobbins with the silk. And I put it inside this particular carrying case. It's one of the converted jewelry boxes that I got from Target. And the bobbins fit really nicely inside there. I put the little conversion at the top. So she sends you a conversion chart with it so that you know obviously what's going to go to what. And you can get these right from her site, and she does the entire pack. So it was like one-stop shopping. You just click, click, you're done, and all of that came. I thought maybe it was going to be a little bit brighter, the floss, because it's a silk, and the directions on This I Know is to coffee tea dye the DMC floss for it, right? But it's not. It's turning out, I don't have all of it done, obviously, and I got to get into the other areas, but it's turning out kind of in a muddled tone, which I'm really liking. So let me show you the chart. Again, it's This I Know from Plum Street Samplers. Head over to Fanciful Flamingo. She's going to show you hers all finished. I had mine kitted up with that silk along with 36 count Overcast from Cedar River, and grabbed it out to get a start on it because I remembered, hey, you need to get going. And I really like it. I'm like, it's going so far so good, right? So far so good. So I'm taking this one with me camping to see what else I can get done on this. Let me find out where I can lay these things. Here we go. Here we go. Really happy with that. Another new start that I had was also from Teresa Koget. She had a couple new releases. All of the new releases that she had are in our website. And this is Stitchy Bird. It's going to turn out about the same size as the other one. I'm planning to put it on one of our basics. And this is my start. It's also on Overcast, but it's on 32 count for this one. And I'm using the called for DMC colors. It's going along just swimmingly. So happy with the progress on that. Those are the two new starts. And progress on a whip that I started while I was at StitchCon. I've already shown you this because it's also a new release from Teresa. Let me grab it here. It's Wisdom. I decided to do this on 40 count milk chocolate from XJU. So this will go a little bit slower, but so far I'm happy with the progress and I'm happy with the experience with stitching it on 40. This week I was able to finish this rectangle and get that all framed in so that I can work on some fill in there in the middle. I am also taking this on my trip. We'll see if I can get some work done on that. I think I want to have my focus be on this, I know, but you know, sometimes things go awry, but that's my hope and my plan. Another one that I did a little bit of work on, so this is a whip, and it's an older whip, but I was totally inspired, completely inspired, from Lori Holt. She's got a new Flosstube out. You are going to want to watch it once, if not twice. It's packed, you guys, packed. And she shares some of her red finishes and her red work, and I remembered I had a red sampler going that I had been neglecting, and so I thought I'm going to pull that out and throw some stitches into it. That is from Hands Across the Sea, Elizabeth Wood, 1850. Last time where I left off was right there where her name is. Elizabeth Wood Will is how far I got. So I grabbed it this week and put a few more stitches in and got the next line, and that's be always a good and. And then the border line underneath it. I also stitched more of the border on the outside so I can hopefully get this one framed and in my house. I haven't had any of the samplers. I've got a few of them done that were from Hands Across the Sea, and I haven't had them framed yet, but I think I found a local place that does some great framing, so I'm anxious to try them. All of these are going camping with me, and I'll see if I can put it I wanted for sure put some more red into this one and then work on this. I know those are my top priorities. The others, you know how it is when, oh, now today I feel like this, so I, take as backups. The bag I'll take with me camping is the bog bag because you cannot get this thing dirty. It's good, and it's going to protect my stitching and my stitch bags as well. I've got a large one and I've got this smaller one, and I will take probably both of them. The container that I'm going to use to travel with for my scissors and needles and things is the converted jewelry box that I was gifted by Jessica, Sweetwater Stitcher, and I love this one with conjunction with the bog bags. It works great because it's got that hard case to it, and I've got some treasures already packed up in it, so a little needle minder and some extra scissors in that needle book, a floss, a waxer, and hopefully I won't use it, but the unpicker is in here. We do have unpickers on our website, by the way. That's a great little tool. And my scissors with some of my favorite little fripperies hanging from them. So this I like the hard case to it, and it fits great inside the bottom of the bog bag, and it's just a great travel for the camping, right? So we'll see how I get and what I get done in a week. I'm hoping to get some good progress on that. I really have nothing else to do while I camp, except hang out, watch the kids, have fun, and stitch. I hope you guys have a great stitching week as well. We have some fun new release items this week. We received more of the white long dough bowl, so those are on the website, and these items will be found on my website, which is chantels141.com. We also got in the black version, so we have a few of these available. They are limited, but I will continue to put these in the shop because they are just fabulous support items for your pillows, and I think that black's going to be great come fall, don't you think? The other one is a small version of the white. This only comes in white, but it's perfect for maybe 1 or 2 pillows, and I just love it. So those are the 2 new items from in the dough bowl collections that have been added to the shop. I have not gone through every single comment from last video so that we can land on a name for these, but I did go ahead and add the floss organizers into the shop. So you'll see these. If this is something you think would be helpful for your kitting, then maybe grab. It's just something that I like to use, so I thought I'd share and add with you too, so you can use them if you like. There were a lot of great fun names, so thank you so much for your suggestions. I saw floss on a stick and the floss bar and floss lot. I thought that was really clever, like a parking lot. I thought that was super fun. So I'm going to keep looking through those, and we will land on a name, I promise. Another new / old release, I guess, is an update to our classic collection. The classic collection is one of the very first things that I added. I added this a couple years ago now, so these were fabulous, and I just felt like we needed basics. So these were kind of the new fangled basics that came out a few years ago, right when I first started, but I needed to update them. So this is the Basic Collection 2.0, and I showed you one already in my new finishes. That was I did in the black velvet color wash, but let me show them all to you unfinished now. So the way the new ones are going to be is this is a solid rectangle piece. It is 5 by 6, and you will get 2 pieces that compose your base. You're going to glue these 2 pieces together and then just pop that right into the slot. I've glued these together so that they stay. They're very easy to assemble, and I think I also shortened it a little bit so that it just made it nicer for putting on a shelf. Rounded the edges just to soften it some, and I really love the new updated look on these because I like that thicker base is what I was really loving. I kept them in the maple because I think they should be maple. I think the wood just adds a lot to it. You could always just clear coat them and let the grain show through. You can stain them, decoupage, paint, however you want. They will be fabulous for supporting your larger. I did make them a little bigger because we needed them a little larger to support some of the smalls that are found with a lot of the different designers. There is the horizontal size. There is a vertical. Now these are the same size. They're just vertical or horizontal. There's also a square, which gives you about a 6 by 6. The square itself is 6 by 6, but then it sits down about 1/4 inch into the slot. So you'll get about 5.5 by 5.5 is probably the great size for that. And of course the round. So that's the update on the Basic Collection, and that is available in our website. Another new item that we have in the shop, and I've shared these already, is this adorable little stand. There we go. Okay, I don't know why it's adorable. I guess if it's adorable because everything small is cute, right? Everything small is cute. So this little small stand already has a magnet. It comes painted black. It is metal. These are perfect. I shared it earlier for clicking your little metal tart tins to turn them into freestanding pieces for your tier trays. I guess that's showing up good. For your tier trays, or if you have a wood piece or even just the piece of the board, and you put another washer or magnet on the top, on the back of it, you'll be able to click and put those and add them wherever you want. I got a lot of these in. I will continue to stock these. They are, I think, a wonderful addition to our finishing solutions as well. I'm working very diligently to give us a lot of great basics so that we can let our stitching show and really let that speak, and let the wood pieces be the support from behind. So that's why you're seeing great core pieces, bowls, and basic boards and things like that for finishing items. We do have another one that's a little bit more of a specialty item because this was a request for the long versions of things, for instance, hive rules. This is still a whip in my collection, hive rules from Primrose Cottage. It is a long stitch, and a group was doing this as a stitch along from the a retreat earlier this year. So I was working on it, and I have a prototype available to share, and then this will be added. It will be ready to go live on July 4th for pre-purchasing and getting it. So it's coming. It's very close. I just wanted to tweak a couple things. Let me show you the prototype first, and then I'll show you the actual board. So my prototype version is this. It's a tall ladder style, okay? So this is a leaner. It does have the shiplap grooves. This is out of just the MDF, so it's a little wobbly. It will come with a frame for your hive rules. It will come with another mat that goes inside the frame. And then this piece, though, is just representing where the stitch is going to be. So I do that so that I know exactly how big things are going to be and what it's going to look like. So that's the top, the bottom, and your center for hive rules. Now I know you're saying, well, is that going to fit for other things? There's a lot of those long versions, and the answer is yes, it will. However, this frame may not always fit around all of them, all right? But you would still use the frame because what you're going to do is you'll put it on the back side so that it creates stability on your piece. Now you might have seen a little something going on there at the top. I think you've seen them before. They are the hooks for the bunting because this piece will be available with a bunting, and I don't know where my blue is. Here we go. We'll just use this one for the bunting to go on so that you can swap out and use this for whatever you want and add a little bunting to the top, and your stitch will go down on the bottom. You don't have to add it if you don't want it up there. It will come with it, or you could even use those little hooks that you put on to put maybe decorative beads or a fabric bunting that you make, or maybe some ribbons and things like that can go up there as well. But I think it adds a really nice touch to the entire piece. So there it is in its prototype form, and you can tell it's a little floppy, but I've got it also partially done in the maple. So this is a little more sturdy, and you can see now this is maple. I did paint it in the white. We've got the shiplap lines, the black frame. This I just spray painted, make it easy, okay? Spray painted white, spray painted the frame black. This frame part is the 1/8 inch MDF. That's the 1/8 inch MDF, and that piece will be included because, like I said, this comes in 2 pieces. They will be puzzled together this way. The reason why we did it in 2 pieces is for shipping purposes and for the length. I don't want to cut one long piece in case it warped or something. So this will be a lot more sturdy to have it done in 2 pieces. And I don't know, if we find we need it longer, then we can add another puzzle in the middle. Does that make sense? So I wanted to give us that option for later. So this is the size for the hive rules. If you're not doing hive rules, or you need a longer one or shorter one, for instance, I have it mocked up to do, and this is what I'll show you when I get back, the long welcome from Fat Quarter Shop. What I'm going to do with that then is completely finish it on the board, stick that on the front, and then take these pieces and put them on the back for stability so that we make sure we bond these 2 pieces together. I'll go over this more in detail, but I wanted to give you a preview of it and let you know that this is coming soon. July 4th, when we're back from our trip, we'll get that loaded onto the website and available for pre-purchase, just because I think it needs a little more detail, a little more, explanation, if you will. But I wanted to keep you apprised as to what is coming down so that's kind of a plan. Actually, a new finished plan is on its way to the shop very soon, and I'm thrilled with how it's turning out. I got a really awesome piece of Happy Meal this week, and it was such a nice surprise. Denise from Goose Design treated me to a project bag that she's done out of the Teresa Koget fabric Kringle. And I checked her shop out on Etsy, and she does have this one available. She also has the green version and the deer from the line as well, made up into project bags. She does these wonderful vinyl fronts and uses these this big zipper pull with a little tassel on there. That's the back side panel that she used. And I'm anxious to work on Teresa Koget Christmas this year for sure, and I will keep them in my Goose bags. I'm going to link her shop below because, like I said, I did go over there and check, and she does have these available. But I'm going to give you a tip too on searching Etsy. I found that it's really frustrating to try to search for a shop in Etsy. You know, you put the name of the shop in the little search bar up there, it never shows up, right? They show you everything else that's like it, but you can't find the actual shop you were looking for. Maybe I'm searching it wrong, but I've heard other people mention that too. So what I have found is like a little way around that is I just put the name of the shop into a Google search, and that pops right up with the Etsy shop right away, and I'm able to go right over and shop from the shop that I want to find and not all the other stuff that gets shared. But the other thing I got in the mail this week, and this is a piece of haul, okay? I found this on eBay. I don't even know how it popped up, but it just popped up as in my search, and it's a vintage stitch of these 3, whoops, there they go, raccoons on this pillow. Isn't it cute? Now, many of you might know that I had a pet raccoon at one time, so this really struck me, and I just loved the stitching and even the back stitching on this one. It's in fantastic shape, so it's a great vintage save the stitch situation, and I think I'm going to go ahead and take it apart and have it framed because I'd like this on the wall. I think it's fun. So I just wanted to share those couple pieces with you this week and tell Denise thank you, and head on over and check out her shop. Our final bit of business for this episode is some discussion about a stitch along for next month, the Not Forgotten box giveaway, and a couple other plans. The stitch along information first is with Nichol Spohr. You'll want to head over to her Flosstube and her Instagram and Facebook, all over the place, for more details on that. It is the chart Jingle Bell Sleigh Ride from Cherry Hill Stitchery. Super cute. You can find it at Fat Quarter Shop. I just ordered my copy there this morning, so my copy's coming. And she's going to finish it using one of our sleds. I'm super excited because I want to follow her tutorial and finish the way she did. Last year, she used the sled to finish one, and it was so good. So good. She has some amazing finishing skills and great tutorials. So I'm looking forward to that. So I went ahead and grabbed the chart. I think I'm going to change the colors. I might use some of the other colors that I've used for Christmas. So we'll see. I'm going to wait until I get the chart and see what I do with mine. And then the other part of business is the Not Forgotten box. Last week we didn't give one away, but the episode before that, we had some winners that came out of that episode. So I'm going to list their names here at the end of this episode. You're going to see the slide come up that shows the names for the winners for the Not Forgotten box. If you are a winner of the Not Forgotten box, please email me at info@141designcompany.com with your information, and we'll get that shipped out to you. They won't be shipping until we get back from our trip, so it won't be until the week of the 4th that the boxes will be shipping out, once we get your information, but it will be shipping out to you. What a Not Forgotten box is our giveaway item. Okay, so not every single episode, but a lot of times in the episodes, I will do a giveaway for a Not Forgotten box. They are a box full of items that are from our shop. Now, this isn't the example of one. This one is totally fine, but sometimes there will be on the B side of the maple a large knot, or maybe there's some things that I cut and they were a little bit off in the size, or I didn't decide to use them, but I don't want to throw them away. It's all great wood and great boards and has a lot of potential. So what we do is we hang on to those and we curate a box full of items, basically. Smalls, it'll have floss organizers, all sorts of things. There have been stitching stands in the boxes. It's about a 6-pound box of goodies that come from us, and we call it the Not Forgotten box. To enter to win, you will leave a comment in the description box below. You will need to be 18 or over, and this is for just the US because it's kind of a heavy box. And you'll add a keyword into the comment in the section below. This week, it'll be an easy one. If you use the word camping, then I will search camping when I get back, and we will go from there. So be creative and clever and add camping into your comment below, and you can ask me anything if you want to do other comments or whatever, and just put camping. You can do that too. So camping is our keyword, and we will choose anyone who, from the random comment picture, we will choose a name from there for our next giveaway of the Not Forgotten boxes. More news and updates are about the website and the retreat and the shop. We had a lot of questions about those, so I thought I'd go ahead and answer those here. We did have a few people who are not able to make it to the retreat now, so that did open up a couple of spots. If you would like information, you can go to our website, which is chantels141.com, and sign up for the retreat there. It is with Kathy Haberman, and it is September 8th, 9th, and 10th of this year, so this fall. And you'll see all of the other details there on the website. About the website, not everything has been loaded into the website yet from the Etsy shop. It's kind of a little bit here, a little bit there, but we are moving to transition those items in to the website. And then the Etsy shop will be very sparse. It will have some of our basics in there. I will not close it completely. However, you are going to see a price difference between the two of them later this summer. Right now they are the same, but later in the summer there will be a price increase on Etsy. And that's just to accommodate the extra fees and things that are associated with using Etsy. So if you go over to the website, you'll see a little bit of price differences, and that's just a general housekeeping topic for that. But it won't be implemented immediately. I just thought I'd give you a heads up so that if you see that coming down the pipe, that's what's happening there. Charts and things like that, the apparel that we have, you'll find that on the website. Boards, and our basics, those will be on Etsy and the website both. So I hope that clears some of those types of questions up. Other questions I had were mostly about the retreat. Oh, the finishing. That was the last thing I wanted to talk about. Our first Make Your Mark series was Teresa Grosjean, and it went out as a kit form with the chart and the board and the paint and brushes and things like that. The tutorial, everything has shipped for all of the orders that were pre-purchased from there. It is still available in the shop. They will be shipping after we get back if that's something you're still interested in. And then I will also add the PDF to Teresa Grosjean into our website shop the week of the 4th. That'll be adding in. The tutorial for painting the board will also go up during the week of the 4th. And that is for these products right here. In the kit, if you got the full kit or the board and paint kit, you received 3 paints, a paintbrush, the board, and this wood block. All of these items are for painting this, and you'll want to just set those aside. Go ahead and work on your stitching first, and then the week of July 4th, I will load the tutorial for the painting technique for this board. This wood block, if you were wondering, yes, it is a painting tool. So keep those together in your kit, and I just wanted to give you that update too. The next kit will go out probably mid-July. Things are looking really good. We've got quite a few of the supplies already in, and the fabric will be coming soon from Stephanie. So the second one it's available for pre-purchase still in our shop in the website, and you'll be able to grab that. And it will ship out, probably that first week, or if not, for sure between the 12th and the 15th is when I have kind of scheduled for that tentative shipping date on the monthly Make Your Mark series. Thank you so much. I know this was a busy episode with a lot of information. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments, or go ahead and message me on Instagram, or email us, and we'll be sure to get with you. Thanks for joining me here today, and we'll see you soon.